Hello, hola mi gente, ¿cómo estás? How you doing? How you living? Okay. But anyways, hey, you guys, what is going on? Long time no peep. I apologize for that. Life has just been living life, okay? But anyways, let me catch you up on some things, and I did want to tell you guys some things. First things I want to start with was I started back to therapy yesterday. Yesterday was my first meeting. I had one with the woman before, over fucking slept because I was drunk as shit and I couldn't get up. What a way to start therapy, right? So Frank, if you guys watch Shameless and y'all know who Frank is, I was franking my way through life and I missed that appointment. Anyways, so I started therapy. Now, I first get into therapy. First of all, I'm butt ass naked, okay? So that was number one. I had just worked out, just got out the shower, and I didn't realize, like, I'm like, oh my god, this link isn't working, this link isn't working. Well, let me get dressed. And she finally comes on and I'm butt ass naked, titties out. First meeting. Anyways, I was like, I'm so sorry, this is probably like the worst impression. She's like, no, you know what, do you, I'll just read you like the disclosures while you're getting dressed. And I was like, all right, bet. So she read me all the disclosures and everything. Let me not get 5 minutes in and a bitch is already crying, okay? And I just want to give a shout out to a few people while I'm dealing with this part of it. But yeah, 5 minutes in, a bitch was crying. I was thinking about my previous therapist, whom I loved. We had such a connection right off the rip, and I love her. I still love her. I do text her to check up on her and see how she's doing, because she had a lot of things going on in her own personal life, which is why she had to stop working. I don't know if it was crossing the line, the stuff that, you know, like we text outside of work and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't something that I found unprofessional, but also I don't know if she was only supposed to keep it professional, which is why I'm not going to say her name. Anyways, so I'm 5 minutes in and I just start crying. Okay, so my therapist, you guys and me, and a few key players in my life were working on getting me out of my toxic ass relationship. I want to shout out y'all, first of all, for holding me accountable. I came to this channel and my daughter had me create this channel. I did not know what was going to happen with this channel. I had no idea what the channel was going to be about. She's like, just vlog. That was very vague. Okay. For me, I didn't know where this channel was going to go. Y'all have seen me through some times already, and that's after me taking like a year and a half off and all kinds of stuff. So you guys have really seen me through a lot of different phases in my life, and because I try to be so honest with you guys, you played a pivotal role in getting me out of my toxic relationship as well, because the more I talked to you guys about it, the more I opened up to you guys about it, I realized it had to happen. So shout out to my audience. I love you guys. You don't know what you've done for me. Shout out to my therapist, my previous therapist, because she was very instrumental on helping me get confidence in myself in order to get out of the situation. So I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to work with her. I still have all my notes from our time together, and I do review those notes. The thing about her was she was more of a friend, because she was like, you don't need therapy. You literally do not need therapy. You just need a plan. Like, you're fully self-aware. You fully understand yourself. Shout out to her. The reason why I started crying is because I wanted us to make it to this point in my life where I wasn't in therapy anymore to talk about my abusive relationship and how I was being mistreated, but now I'm in therapy because of my shit ass job. But it's totally different, you know, like I'm in a totally different space, and what's stressing me now is something totally different, and I want to learn how to manage my stress. That's something that I internalize, and that's why I have so many like things going on in my life. My hair look crazy, y'all, right? But that's why I have so many other things going on, because I don't know how to manage stress very well, and I've never known how to manage stress very well. So That's something that I'm gonna work on with this therapist. And maybe she was, you know, meant to get me so far in my life and in my journey, and you know, maybe we were supposed to cross paths, but she doesn't know how much she meant to me. She has no idea the role she played in my life and how her words still ring in my head. So I want to shout out to my previous therapist, and I will always have a special place in my heart for her and our talks and our connection. This new therapist is pretty dope herself. She kind of reminds me of MC Light. A lot of y'all are probably too young to know who that is, but that's what she kind of reminded me of. She has a very direct approach. I definitely enjoy it. But while also being like nurturing and kind, but I definitely like the lines that we're going. So I'm gonna go weekly by my own choice, just to get back on track with therapy until I feel like I'm in a good space to spread it out to bi-weekly. I want to give a shout out, and it's probably gonna be one of the weirdest fucking shout outs ever, and I know he's not gonna see this, but if should he ever decide to look at a video and of mine again, I want to give a shout out to T. There was a time when me and Terrell met up at a hotel. This was in 2021, like June time. Earlier in that day, we had planned on linking up and kicking it for the day or whatever, and I got into this altercation at Target with my ex. This thing got so bad. No, what happened? He was just like, hey, what time are we going? What are we doing? And I was like, no, I don't think it's a good time. I just don't feel good. And he called me, because obviously he wasn't trying to hear that. But for some reason in my mind lately, I've been remembering him saying, like, I will help you, but I'm not here to save you. And that was like some deep ass shit, because at the first I'm like, what do you mean, you know? But he was like, I'll help you, I'm gonna assist you. You want to leave that situation? I'll help you, I'll assist you. But I am not like a Captain Save-A-Ho, basically. I'm not here to rescue you, is what I think his terminology was. But I will assist, like I'll help you, but I ain't gonna save you. I'm not gonna rescue you. And I was like, at first when he said it, I didn't know how to take it. I thought and sat on that for days. And then one day it like really clicked to me. Like, he wanted me to stand on my own 2 feet and do the shit on my own, but he was gonna be there for me, like if I needed him. Lies, but nah, he was a good friend when he was a good friend. Everyone has a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and when he was in the friendship phase of my life, he was definitely a good friend. He was shit at other things, but he was definitely a good friend. I'm still mad at him over the package situation, so if he does follow this video, like, fuck you. Let me stop playing. I love that man. I will always have a special place in my heart for him. He was the first date I ever went on in 20 fucking years, and it was the best breaking the ice situation ever. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything to make me more at ease, because we were like cool from the start. But those words that he said stayed in the back of my head, and he actually did help me play a role in all to where I'm at today. Of course my kids played a role in this. Obviously I wanted them out of a bad situation, and while he was the one that left the home, like, it was me like just being stern and saying that I'm not gonna be, like, I don't want to be with you. I didn't, you know, I learned not to back down, and that was something that I was like really proud of myself. So shout out to those key players. They don't know what they did. And my last, but you say the best for last, honorable mention also goes to Anna. There was a time I was at my friends, at my family, so I was back home in San Diego. I want to say, I don't remember which trip it was, because I went hella times in that year, but I want to say it might have been my maybe September, October trip. She told me about a lady that was like, you know, not wanting to be with her husband anymore. There was a lot of things that were going on in that whole situation, honestly. There was like voodoo, black magic, all kinds of stuff that went on in this situation. But the end result of that was really bad. And she told me that she was worried about me ending up in that, like in a situation like that. And for me, that was a wake-up call, because even though I personally had always thought like if I died prematurely, it was gonna be at, you know, like at his hands. Honestly, I don't know if YouTube's gonna allow that. You know, like I honestly was like, if something happens to me, like, you know. But her worry for me honestly woke me up to a lot of things too. Like, there are people that care about me. If something did happen, like, there would people would actually care enough to miss me. And I know we take things kind of like lightly, you know, we don't always be like, we're kind of jokey, we don't try to get too deep all the time. But she doesn't know that that moment stood in my head. Even after he left, it stood in my head, because it's like, you don't know how somebody's gonna deal with a breakup. I'll have to say, you guys, he's made progress. He does now refer to me as his ex. So that was actually something pretty cool that I noticed. I know that things aren't always going to be pretty. Like, I have, you know, mellowed out. I think because I just reached a point of not giving a fuck, you know? Like, I don't care. I don't have feelings towards him or anything like that, that I can just deal with him. It's probably not good to be cool as I am with him, but I just don't have any feelings towards it. And but I just wanted to like make sure I shouted out to those key players, because honestly, like, you guys don't know what you meant to me with regard to speaking on the situation honestly. Like, I did talk to other people, like I have a bad situation, but I never really got into depth with a lot of people. Not a lot of people even really knew all the details, but they kind of understood it from things I said. So, ow. So I don't know, I just wanted to, it's been heavy on my mind since yesterday about like my therapy and the point that I've reached and stuff like that. Like, now I have other goals that I need to like smash up. But thank y'all for real, and thank you to my audience, and for the people that did watch and the people that did know what was going on in my relationship. While I didn't get graphic about it or anything like that, for those of you that did know, like, and even watched or whatever, I just appreciate you guys, because in the family that we're in, I always want to be 100% honest with you guys. I might have to leave some things out just because, well, like at the time especially, like things I was doing, I didn't just want them out there at that time, like. But now we're at the point where we can just say whatever we want, baby mama. So anyways, let me talk to y'all about my Easter Eve. He has risen day Eve. So wait, first let's go back to March, because March I went to my first NBA game, y'all, and what a time it was. It was like the most ghetto but best experience ever. I had the best time. Like, I want to go again. I'm already plotting on my next game. We're gonna do the next game, Suns versus Lakers. Then I would have seen all three of my teams in person, and then my final team is a team I adopted by proxy, is the Warriors, because my cousin at the time, he was not able to watch games. He was elsewhere, and I watched all his games for him. Like, I mean, honestly, when I watch NBA, I watch every single team, but I have my teams, right? But when I had the time, I would watch every single game. I didn't discriminate. It was such a wonderful experience. I took my daughter with me. She doesn't know anything about basketball, but she's just looking for dudes, and you gotta start from somewhere. March, then April is the shittiest month of my life. I lost both of my grandparents during this month, and so it's usually a very low-key month for me. I really don't interact with people. I really don't like to be around people. I'm really reclusive at that time because I'm so depressed. I am like so sad. Anyways, on Easter Eve, I went out with my friend. His name is Joe. I was gonna give him some kind of nice nickname. He's another Gemini like me. Call him Gemini Joe. But that's not what I say to him. But anyways, so the four of us had a play date, and we decided on Easter Eve that we were gonna hide eggs, and they had in them whiskey. I should show you all of them because I got to keep all this stuff. Plus he bought me an Easter egg basket, which I think is so cute. Yes, it's a $10 basket, and yes, I'm geeked over it, and I don't give a fuck. And I like sentimental things, and all that stuff to me is like, I don't know. We were talking about sentimental things too. Kimana is her boyfriend. He wanted to keep her, what was it, her headband, or no, her, not her do-rag, what the fuck, her bonnet. And I was like, let him keep it. Which also made me think of Terrell because he kept a mask that I had given him on our first date forever. It's probably trash, burnt, or whatever now, but I don't know. And I don't know why he's been heavy on my mind, honestly. He's been like in the back here for some reason. I'm like, I haven't thought about this man in forever, but for now I'm like, he's on my mind. I hope he's okay. Like, I hope he's doing really good in life. I hope things change for him, and I hope, you know, like, he's doing good. So we went out, we had Easter eggs. I feel like I should show you for context, but it doesn't have the candy in anymore because you know I fucked it up. Okay, you know I fucked it up. But actually Kimana did. She stole it from me and she kind of fucked it up, and I felt like I fucked it up. But anyways, let me get the eggs so I can show you at least what they're supposed to look like. So y'all are probably gonna think I'm crazy, but this is something I carry in my purse. Honestly, I don't know why, but I do. I have like 4 of them in my purse. So we have the eggs, and we put this with candy in the eggs, and we hid them all over the park. And we found the last eggs like this. They're individual eggs. He bought them all individually for me. I mean for us, but mostly for me. And yeah, the budget that he gave me was non-existent because I went over that budget. But we hid the eggs all over the park. I'm getting a little nauseous being around it because y'all are gonna get to the park. So first I got off work. I get off work at 8 p.m. for context. The liquor store, I guess, closes at 8:55 Texas thing. I don't know. I don't understand it, to be honest, so I don't know. I get to the park at 8:48, and we go to the liquor store together with 5 minutes to spare because it's kind of like around the corner from my house. He's like, if you don't buy liquor by 9 o'clock, I can't serve it to you. And the receipt's obviously going to show what time he closed till. So I understood. It took me forever. It was probably the longest 5 minutes to find me a alcohol. I should show you the tequila, but honestly it makes me so nauseous now to look at it or even open it. It makes me want to vomit. So I can't bring it to you. I can't bring it to you. So or should I just show you? I don't know. I'm getting, my stomach's turning thinking about it. So we get this big bottle of tequila, and then we get the little bottles like that, a 10-pack of those because it was relatively cheap, you know, like $10 or something for all 10, like a bottle, $1 each or something. So, and then all the stuff that I had them get for Easter, like to make it cute, the basket. My mom was like, you should have got a bag, and I was like, no, I wanted this bunny, and I think the bunny is adorable. I should show you my bunny too. I was about to pay for it, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I'm gonna pay for the bunny because you didn't say, like, you know what I mean, like, you didn't sign up for that. I was gonna pay for that on my own. And he was like, put your wallet away. And I was like, Joe. But anyways, and so we are filling him up, like, he's driving and I'm filling him up, and it took me like from this liquor store to where did he went to another liquor store, like Valero or something, and he got him a beer, that's making my stomach nauseous too, talking about it. He got a beer, and then I had the tequila. So I started taking shots already. Like, you know, he's like, oh, I brought you a shot glass because I knew that you were gonna want a bottle. And so he did bring me, he brought us 2 little shot glasses. Like, he stays prepared. So cute. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna take one. And then while we're just sitting at the park, and he was just like elevating, doing his thing, rolling his stuff, you know, all that good stuff. And I'm fighting with these eggs and taking shots the whole time. I lost track of how many shots I took. He took 2 though. I remember that. He took 2. He sipped on his beer and he had elevated. I didn't elevate, I just drunk. And so, or drank, sorry. I just got drunk. So he's so I'm feeling these things, and I was like, can you please open them for me? So because it's so hard. And so he opened them for me, and then I just closed them, put the candy and all that. So however many shots in, it was too late for me, honey. I hadn't eaten. He asked me to, honestly. He's like, hey, have you eaten? And I was like, yeah, around 1. He's like, I think you need to eat. And I was like, no, I'm good. And famous last words, bitch, because like, so I took all these millions of shots. I felt fine. I remembered a lot of stuff until a certain point it blacked out. Like, I don't know, that must have been when everything kicked in. So we're running around the park. I gave him 3 minutes. He gave me 2 minutes to find all the eggs. So we have 10 eggs. We're hiding all 10 eggs. I found 7, and then he showed me where the 3 that I was missing. He found 3. So I won. As drunk as I was, I won. We were loud, we were screaming. Something was recording us constantly because it was like, hi, you're being recorded. Hi, you're being recorded. And I hope to pray to Jesus they couldn't see inside of his car. Because from my memory, which he confirmed it, there was things happening. So I hope to pray to Jesus on He Has Risen Day they did not see the thing. But yeah, so I guess I thought I was going home, and he was like, no, you're not walking your ass back home. I'm gonna take you home. And I somehow managed to get him to where my house was. And then I left my phone with him. I woke up really early, so I left him around like 12:01, and then I woke up really early, like 5:06, and I was like stumbling into Kimana's room, and I was like, hey, I lost my phone, and I think there's eggs at the park, and we have to go find the eggs. And she's like, your phone? And I showed her like find my phone, which is fucking useless when you have the watch and the iPad but no phone, and they're an Android user. So I fucking was like not caring about the phone, but she ended up texting him from her Google number for me, and he never reached out. He just showed up. I was like, we went to the park early in the morning. We went to go look for the eggs. No eggs were there, thank the gosh. And he told me I like had one of my moments with him where because when I get obsessive, I have to like make sure. And so he's like, you have me count the eggs like hella times, like, and I don't know how he put up with me, especially drunk and having my OCD. He's a saint. And he's like, no, you had me count them like hella times, and no, you had 3 and I had 3 and you had 7. And I was like, okay. We took a shot of one of these too, like one of the whiskeys with the damn tequila, and oh my god, it was fucking crazy. So he confirmed everything. He's like, do you remember this? And I was like, no. I'm like, as long as you had a good time, like, I'm straight. I know at the time I was probably with it. I just don't remember. I remember being with it, so I'm not mad or anything like that. Like, I remember explicitly giving consent, and then for some reason the rest of it I have a hard time remember. But like, yeah, so then I was like, oh, like, even though I was full on drunk still when I woke up, I was like, Kimana, we should go to Wendy's. Let's walk to Wendy's, which is like probably a mile away from my house. And so we got up. My drunk ass was walking to Wendy's, breathing on people, talking to people with my tequila ass breath. She was like, that shit is strong, mom, like so strong. She was like, when she smelled the bottle, like just a couple days ago. Now today is the 25th, and He Has Risen Day was how long ago? And she was like, that smells just like your breath. I don't know where this cut off at, but she was like, that smells just like your breath. And it was rancid. When I opened that bottle like a week later, I could smell like, ugh, I got nauseous. And now I know what my dad was talking about with Jose Cuervo. But Jose Cuervo is like bottom shelf, you know what I mean? And this one was probably bottom shelf too, but it was a little bit more expensive, so I thought, damn. But also slamming it with no food. The days after that drunken stupor, I was like being functional, so my daughter thought I was okay, but actually I wasn't. I wasn't able to go pee. I wasn't able to go pee, and I was retaining hella fluid in my body. So finally, after like day 3, I decided I was gonna go to the hospital because I needed fluids, because I was too nauseous to eat and I was too nauseous to drink. So I went to go get fluids and some Zofran. So I went to the hospital, still like drunk 3 days later, and I was like, I need some Zofran, and I need an IV, and I need you to run my liver panel, and I need you to run my kidney functions, please. So he was like, do you normally drink like this? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, not normally, but I just went in too hard, and I didn't eat. Too hard, too fast, didn't eat. Like, there wasn't even seconds between the shots. I was just shotting it up. Shot, 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 shots. And I usually don't go that hard. Like, I was... work got me vexed. I was like, I'm tired. So I went there, got pumped full of fluids. I felt a lot better after that, but I was still nauseous the next day. I did not go to work. So yeah, I called my ex at like 2 a.m. and I was like, yo, I'm going to the hospital. He's like, do you want me to take you? I didn't even want to tell him, because then I feel like I would have to say stuff about Joe and blah, 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 and drinking. And he's probably going to be like, you dumb fuck, which I would deserve, but shit. Who wants to hear that from your ex? So I was like, just take Kimana to school for me. And I came back like maybe an hour or so before she had to go to school, maybe, or maybe 30 minutes, and I laid down. I came from the hospital, I went in the back and I laid down, but I didn't sleep, just laid down, and I was just nauseous and shit. And I sent her to the pharmacy for me to pick up me and her actually went together. Like, after I rested all day and she got back from school, I got my black ass up again and I went out again feeling like shit, looking like shit, and got my Zofran. And then the next week she got my other prescription for me, which was for some hydroxyzine or whatever it's called. It's for fucking, it's another type of antihistamine, because I broke out in a rash all over my body. And bitch, oh my god. So yeah, that was pretty much what happened a couple days out of my life and what's been going on. But I really do love you guys. I don't want to say the word, like, remember, I don't know if y'all remember this, but I used to say I'm the most consistent and consistent vlogger, and that, like, I will stand behind, because I will vlog for you guys all the time. I will never post it. I will never post it, but I will always vlog it for you guys. You guys come to my house, steal my SD card. Not the 128 one that's X-rated, but like the 256 or the 512. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Honestly, you don't know how much you played a role in my whole entire existence. Everything looks on the up and up, boo-boos. Alright, I really love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching, and I love you, and I will see you in the next video. I don't know where that's going to be, but I hope it's going to be soon, because I do want to be consistent, but I just have not. But I love you guys anyways. I hope you love me too. Love you. Bye.